Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
Talk's friendly little proletariat uprising. America's first competition talk show. You're in the hub.
That's how long I've been on ya.
Work it harder, make it better, do it.
I need you right now.
The FCC is considering new rules to regulate the internet. In the last decade, the internet saw explosive growth because government stayed out of the way.
Good day. It is Tuesday, May 18th, and welcome to the Hub Internet Show. I'm your host, Joel Aaron, joined all this week by Daniel, Dr. Joel, Benita, and Dr. Freedom on the Hub Internet Show. By the way, you can go back and watch the Wednesday program from last Wednesday to vote on whether Daniel or Benita won the face-off debate. Post your comments in the comments section of the YouTube video. We'll tell you tomorrow on the show who wins, who loses. All right. There is potentially some big winners and some big losers right now in a debate that's being had between the Federal Communications Commission and some of the telecom in the telecommunications industry over access to the internet. Just recently, the Federal Communications Commission was trumped by the Supreme Court in a decision that they made. That they were trying to do. The thing is called net neutrality. What net neutrality essentially does is say that the technology companies like AT&T and Comcast that provide the internet access to folks would have to provide equal access to everyone that wants to use the internet and have free and equal access to the websites and to the content on the internet. AT&T and Comcast are saying, we've been self-regulating this for a long time, and it's worked quite nicely. The internet does not need government intervention. The internet does not need added government regulation because we have a fiduciary interest, we have a financial interest in getting this right. Because we have customers, and these customers are groups like Google and others that use this internet access. But not everybody needs the same amount of access and bandwidth capacity. We know that, so we're regulating it. The FCC stepping in and saying, well, they could be micromanaging it. They could be kind of trying to control it and pull the levers a little bit to provide more access to one group other than another group. It's a rather technical issue, but the question right here with net neutrality is, does the government get more or less involved in regulation of the internet? And Dr. Freedom, you're the engineer, my man. We defer to you on this.
Dr. Freedom does have engineering degrees. This is a technical issue, and people need to understand this. What we're really talking about is being able to go freely among the internet and go to different places and have it be as easy to go to one place as another. What the companies want to do, Comcast, AT&T, what they want to do is basically get payments from somebody, say CNN. So CNN pays them money. You go to CNN, it goes really quickly. You can get the video from them. You can get access to them. It works really quickly. Fox doesn't pay AT&T, Comcast, and you go to Fox, it's really slow. It's like that old dial-up stuff. And so basically the AT&T and Comcast, they make the money from CNN. Anybody is going to pay them to give them preferential treatment. That's why they want to do it. Now, everybody thinks, oh, I'll just go to a different internet service provider. Well, think about it. Where do you get your internet? It either comes from your telephone line or your cable line. You don't have 100 different places you can go for your internet. Those are the people that want to control it. So if you want to see things like a YouTube or a Facebook, those things would have never happened if they had to pay for it. You think two guys in a dorm room creating Facebook could pay Comcast and AT&T to give them preferential treatment so people could go to their websites? No. So
and that brings up a good point. I mean, it stifles the innovation there. And this is the innovation that has personified the internet from minute one. And what they're talking about doing, what the FCC essentially, I believe, knows right now, and they're not saying this out loud, the FCC chairman, Julius Janikowski, because I think there's a political angle to this that he has, being a Harvard man and a longtime friend of President Obama and the administration, is that he knows the existing rules that would be put in place under the FCC are the types of rules that have existed for decades. They're decades-old rules to phone lines and servicing and regulating phone lines. Those rules don't apply as well to the online universe today. And he knows that it's going to stifle it, and it's going to put the power back in the favor of the regulator. And that's essentially
I don't. What's interesting here is that the companies like AT&T and Comcast, because they can control the flow of traffic on the internet, they can slow down or prohibit certain things from coming down during high traffic areas. It's interesting that what net neutrality will do. This actually is good government regulation because it is asking these companies to or preventing these companies from prohibiting and limiting access to the internet. And it's good government coming in and saying, step off and let bigger companies come in and do more or allow greater access. It was what it seems to be the case for me. This is actually good government in place to tell these companies that have power to back off and allow greiter access to the internet.
And I see your point, but one of the things that this assumes once again is the omniscience of the government in this case. And quite frankly, I know you disagree. You rather
not in this case.
Not in this case. Well, I mean, I think it does, because one of the things that people don't talk about is the networks that are created by these groups, like Google, for example. A lot of folks don't know. They own 30% of the bandwidth available online today because of some of the acquisitions that they've made over the last few years. There are so many different players operating as subsidiaries under the same group. It's very difficult to determine, if I'm the government, who does this really impact when I regulate this one way or another. Benita?
And I really think that the whole, this reminds me of the whole, there are no losers, nobody fails, everybody's equal, you're all good people, it's this whole mentality that nobody should win. And when government levels the playing field, they're leveling it down. I don't think that we need to stifle innovation by introducing net neutrality.
So you're saying so Dr. Freedom shaking his head, net neutrality would not stifle innovation.
No, net neutrality is good. Freedom-loving people want net neutrality. It's basically like saying that you can go to different websites and you're going to have to pay more to go to CNN versus going to Fox, whereas right now you pay for the bandwidth. It's your bandwidth. It's not Google's bandwidth. You can go where you want to, but if the cable company and the phone company does what they want, you're going to have to pay more to go to one place versus another instead of paying the same to go to each place.
But see, that's where the name gets in the way. That's where the semantics get in the way. We call this net neutrality when in reality there's nothing neutral about it at all. This is the government stepping in to regulate what were previously companies that were unregulated in this way, like AT&T and Comcast, that were doing their own self-regulating based on the variables in the marketplace, the online universe.
That's government picking winners and losers, and that is just, I just don't think that that's going to work.
Pandora's box, Daniel?
I'm totally in agreement with Benita. I think once you do level the playing field, you do lower it to the weakest link, the weakest person, so that way everyone is equal. And when we do that, creativity gets stifled and
innovation goes.
I think it's the other way around. I think what government is trying to do is eliminate those who have the lock on the flow of traffic.
Exactly.
AT&T and Comcast.
All the intricacies in it and all the little details.
And that's what a lot of folks are saying, that a lot of this will come out in the wash. I guess just like it came out in the wash after we passed the health care bill. Yeah, Speaker Pelosi, we got to pass this so we can find out what's in it. All right. So using that logic, we will not know how good or bad this is until we passed the net neutrality laws. And don't we all really want to know what's inside the box?
It's government, so it's good for you.
No,
come on.
Neutral is good for the consumer. It's you get to choose, not Comcast and AT&T gets to choose where you go on the internet.
Rages on. You can get a lot of information, by the way, by going to the website for americansforprosperity.org, and they've got some information on this stuff as well. So, by the way, our online mall is open. You can get so many great deals on that right now to make you want to slap your mama, even on Mother's Day. So, do it now. It's financingmyliberty.com. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.